Welcome to one of the instructional videos for beginning tech proficiency and assessment. In this video, we're going to look at how to create a Google document and look at some options and things that you can do with a Google document. The first thing that you'll need to do is sign into your Google account, whichever that may be. You can see up here that I'm signed into my account. And in Google Documents, Google recently updated their documents, and so now they call it Drive. Drive is essentially an online hard drive that you can store files to, and so they've combined Google Documents and this ability to store files into something called Google Drive. So Google Drive, Google Documents, same thing. And to make our document, you want to click this red button right here that says Create. And I'd like to create a document. You can see there's quite a few different options. Today we're just going to focus on creating a document. And once I click on that, it's going to open up a new tab in my browser. And I have a new document here that I can start from scratch. First thing you'll probably want to do is to give it a title so that you can find it easily. In Google, and just like in Google search, you're able to search for a document in Google Documents, and so if you title this something that you're going to remember, you can search for it later pretty easily. So I'm just going to write Tech for Efficiency. And so now I'm able to edit this document. Anything that I would want to do generally in a word processing, I can also do this in Google Document. Let's say that I want to write the first step to creating So the first step to creating a Google document is to give the document a name. That's probably the first thing that you need to do. I want to show you some of the options and things that you can do with this document. And let's start first by looking at the file options. There's quite a few options here, and there's a couple that I'm going to look at specifically. The first one is the option to share. If I click share, it's going to bring up an option to share this document with different people. Right now, it is a private document, meaning that only the people that are listed below have access to it. And it shows that I am the owner. I'm the owner of this document. And let's say that we wanted to add somebody to this document. So I'm going to add this document. I'm going to share this document with one of the other teachers that I collaborate with. And I have a couple of options of what she can do with this document. I've typed in her email here. If I want to add a message, I can do that. The other option that you really want to pay attention to is this one right here. If I click on this, it gives me some different options that I can select from. I can allow this person to edit the document, can just comment on the document, meaning that they can insert comments at specific areas, and can view the document. From a teacher standpoint, if you are having your students create a Google document, you're probably going to want to be able to edit or at minimum comment on the document so that you can give students feedback. When I'm ready to share this with as many people as I would like, I can click share and save, and then that's it. It'll share the document with everybody that I've listed. One other thing that you want to probably take a look at is notifying people via email. If you want somebody to know that this document has been shared with them, it will send an email if this box is clicked. If you unclick it, then they won't receive an email saying that they've been given access to this document. However, it'll still show up in their Google Docs. The next thing that I want to show you is the ability to make a copy. Let's say that I want to have this document and I want to be able to have duplicate or two versions of the document for whatever reason. So I can make a copy of this document just by clicking File, scrolling down, and click Make a Copy. It gives me the option to also copy the document for collaborators. So if you've shared the document with somebody, you can automatically have the copied version shared with the people who you originally shared it with. You press OK. And it's going to create a new document, and you can see up here it says Copy of Tech for Efficiency. You could rename this as well just by clicking on that, and it'll give you an option to rename it. I'm going to leave it as a copy for now. Some of the other options that you can do with Google Documents, I'm going to go back to my original here. Really important one is to see the revision history. If I click on File and then Revision History, if I click on that, it's going to show me what or how the document has been edited over the course of its history. This is a relatively new document, and so there hasn't been a lot of changes. But I can see who, myself, made changes and at what time and on what date. If you will have students working collectively on a single document, if they've shared it between multiple students and they're working on it collectively, if you have access to this document, if they've shared it with you as well, you can click on revision history and you can see who has done what for the different portions of the document. And I'd like to show you an example of what that looks like right now. Let me pull up another tab. So here is an example of what that looks like. This is a WebQuest assignment that another teacher and I created and worked on together. You can see who has shared or who has access to this. This has been shared with quite a few different people in my department, biology teachers that we work together with. You can see who the owner is, you can see who has editing access, and all the people that it's shared with. And if you take a look at the revision history, by clicking on File and then See Revision History, you can see who has created what changes and when. It goes all the way back to the beginning of the document. And so you can see it was created by Scientific Childers, and then I made some edits, and then collectively we made quite a few different changes to it as we went along. One of the other really nice things about revision history in Google Documents is, let's say that I want to go back in time, I want to go back to a previous version of this. If I click on one of these different times, let's say I want to do May 15th at 7:10 a.m., I can click Restore to this revision, and it will restore the document to the document at that point in time. So if somebody accidentally deletes something or if somebody adds something that's not appropriate, you can go back basically in the past for the document and restore it to the previous version. Really nice feature of Google Documents. Going back to our original Tech for Efficiency document, there's some other features that I'd like to show you. Under File again, there's an option to download the document as. You can download documents in quite a few different formats. A Microsoft Word document that would be fully editable in Microsoft Word. You can download it as a PDF, which is sometimes helpful if you want to post something to your website, a web page, quite a few different options here. The other option is, instead of downloading it, you can actually publish this document to the web. If I click Publish to the web, it's going to ask me to automatically replenish when changes are made. So automatically, anytime you make a change to this document, it will be made, the changes will also appear in your published version. So if I click Start Publishing, it's going to make sure that I want to do that, and I say OK. And it gives me a couple of different options here. The first is a link. This is a link to that document. If I highlight all of this, if you're on a Mac and push Command A, it will highlight all of it. And if you push Command C, it will copy that entire link. And I can use that now, and I could publish that link on my web page or somewhere else so that everybody would have access to it. And I'll show you what that would look like in just a second. The second option is to embed the document. And we'll talk about embedding a little bit more throughout the course. But embedding basically means that you're going to take that published document and you're going to put it into a blog or a website or a wiki. It's essentially kind of the same thing as linking the document, but embedding it actually puts the actual document into your website, and I'll show you an example of that as well. So let's take a look at what it looks like as a published document. I've copied my document link. I'm going to close this, and I'm going to open up a new tab on my browser, and I'm going to paste that link. And so this is what that published document looks like. You can see the name of it, and then you can see exactly what I've typed. If I were to make changes to this, this would automatically be changed. And so that is a really nice feature of Google Documents, being able to publish the different pages or documents that you make as essentially web pages. The other example of this is that I wanted to show you is what it looks like when you embed a document into a website or a blog or a wiki. On my website, I have a section for proficiency grading. It's a grading method that I use in my class. And so I've created a Google document of basically an explanation of proficiency grading, and I've embedded that into my website. So this is the document right here that I've embedded into my website. And the reason why I've done this, the reason why I've used this or I've embedded this into my web page is that if I need to go back and make any changes to this overall document, I don't need to go back and edit anything on my website. It will automatically be updated because it's embedded into the web page. So it's a pretty nice and efficient means of using Google Documents because it's automatically updated and very easy to manage. let's go back to our original document, and there's a couple of other tools that I want to show you. Lastly, under File, you can email the collaborators, or you can email the document as an attachment. You can also print the document as well. If you'd like to adjust the margins, or you can change it from portrait to landscape, you also have those options, just as in Microsoft Word. You can copy and paste. You can change some view settings. A couple of other options under Insert. You can insert an image. If I want to insert an image, I have a couple of different ways I can do that. I can upload a file if I'd like. I can take a snapshot using the camera. I can copy and paste a URL. So if I find an image on the internet that I want to insert, I can paste the URL to that image right there, and it will automatically insert. Or if I have albums set up, I can also add those as well. You can also add in a link, equations, drawings. If you want to add in a drawing, this is using Google Drawing, you can click on that and it will allow you to create a drawing and then insert that into your document. Quite a few other options here, some traditional Word formatting options, page number, page count, etc. Format, you can change the font on quite a few different options, a couple different tools. A nice new one that's been recently introduced is called Research. Research allows you kind of basically to do Google research and to do Google searches inside of the document, and then you can drag and drop things into your document. It's pretty fancy. A couple other tools, and then inserting a table as well. Those are some of the basic features of Google Documents. The most important things, I think, are the ability to create and share a document with multiple people, whether that be students or other teachers, and the ability to publish your document as a web page. In the next step, in the next video, we'll look at some of the options of doing that and kind of how to create a template using a Google document.